What's going on, everybody? Kenny Bomber's in the building, and we just got a pretty slight breakdown on a few modes in UFC 5. Now, I say slight breakdown because I still want to know a lot more about the career mode, but what we did find out does sound pretty good. The first thing I want to touch on is this. Now, they're going to give us an option to actually do like in-game bets on the fights that are happening in the actual UFC events, and I think that's going to be really interesting just based on how they actually give out the rewards, because of course we're not going to be able to bet real money, which I think that probably would have been cool for those who bet, but I don't think they're actually going to give us that full option. But betting and winning in-game currency actually could work pretty well too. That might even be a good fix for the microtransaction crisis, we'll just say that. So the next thing they show us is this. We see this mode here that actually was available in the beta. They give you different fights with different difficulties, and this is something I spoke about in a previous video. Like, you go with Pereira versus Costa. You can't choose which fighter you're going to actually use, but it gives you a difficulty here, and you got to run through this fight. You get 3 chances to win. If you don't win, no more chances. You gotta wait until like 48 hours before that fight refreshes. But this is good for people like me who don't necessarily love playing online. I more like to spend my time with the single player content. And this gives us different things to do with these different challenges, different ways to win awards and bonuses to actually spend more on your created fighter and build up your in-game content. Speaking of challenges, they also confirmed there will be weekly challenges, and I love the way these look, because if we see that last one, the challenge was to throw 750 strikes in a week. That's actually not bad at all. That actually gives you the incentive to play a lot of different matches. Land 25 strikes to the body. So just these different challenges we'll be completing, they give us these different things we can unlock. Like these. I love the electric tights. I don't know what's going on with that, but let's get it. Complete 20 fights as a middleweight fighter. I love things like this that keep us engaged with the game and just gives us something to do. Because again, everybody doesn't like playing online. But for those of you who do love to play online, there is now an online career mode. And this is very interesting, because one thing a lot of people say is they don't want to see the created fighters in the like ranked matches. They changed it up. Going forward, created fighters can only be used in the online career mode. And I think that's very fair, depending on how championships work in that mode. But this is another thing a lot of people were asking about. We actually can pick our own moves for the created fighter, so it's not something that's randomly generated based on the fight style or fight type you pick. Now, the online career mode is going to serve a very specific type of UFC player, but this is the mode that gets me the most excited, and we're going to have to check this out in full.
You'll know that I absolutely love career mode in UFC games, and with UFC 5 we're getting some features to improve the overall experience, make things more enjoyable.
Now, I don't know what that is, but we can tell that they are in the backyard fighting. It looks like that's kind of like your rise before you actually get into the UFC. You got this guy kind of, I don't know if he's challenging you or if he's challenging you to fight somebody who's in the crowd, but it looks like there is going to be a full story integrated with this career mode. And that's the thing I said I wanted to see since this game was originally announced. Let's go ahead and finish taking a look at it.
And also increase the difficulty and immersion of becoming a UFC athlete.
I can't just cover up. Makes it hard to see shots coming in too.
Now see, things like that, it just looks like we'll actually be able to get to know this fighter and know the journey going through the UFC this time, instead of it just being go train, go to a media conference, go do your match. I want to see a lot of different cutscenes integrated in this story mode.
Everyone's favorite trainer, Coach Davis, is back to guide you through a whole new UFC career with new cinematics, locations, and a refined focus on onboarding. But don't listen to me, here's producer Rahman Bassi to tell you more.
On UFC 4, we have a lot of data coming in, so we know how our users are playing career mode. We know how many players are playing career mode. It's a very popular mode on UFC 4. A lot of people play career mode multiple times. And one of the pain points that we saw was training camp, obviously. It takes a long time. Training camp in real life, it's not fun. What we've allowed you to do in UFC 5 is, one, you can simulate your entire training camp.
All right, let's see. So this gives us different styles. I guess we'll be able to learn different
And get to peak fitness. So once you've completed a
see pro challenges, so they give you different challenges to get different rewards, and I guess this is how we kind of master these different styles. Practice your clinch and kickboxing against a Muay Thai training partner. Gain move evolution boost for kicks and clinch strikes. Current hype. So you got your hype level still, so I guess we'll still have to do like those different press conferences and social media posts, things like that. Fitness low.
a challenge pack in sparring. You can then simulate to that grade over and over again if you get that same challenge pack again. There's a lot of simulation everywhere across career mode just to get you to the fight faster. We've done a lot with our...
So, you know what? I need to go back to see if he said we'd have the option to simulate, or is that going to be mandatory?
It's not fun. What we've allowed you to do in UFC 5 is, one, you can simulate your entire training camp and
You
get
can.
So once
Okay.
completed,
So you can, which means it's optional.
the fight faster. We've done a lot with our AI tuning this year in career mode specifically. Of course, sparring is hard, right? We do like there to be a little bit of a danger to sparring. There's always a chance
Ooh.
of getting knocked out, getting hurt. There's always a chance of now getting cut as well in career mode, in sparring. The wrinkle we've added to legendary career mode is that it's going to be simulation game style only. So that means there is no HUD, but also at the same time, there's going to be increased damage and increased stamina drain in our legendary career mode.
I like that. That's one thing I wanted to see, is the HUD be removed. But with the cuts and everything, I'm hoping it's something like, let's say, Fight Night. Like in that story mode, things would happen in the story to make you actually get like injured or damaged before the fight, and you'd have to try to overcome that. So hopefully something happens. Let's say he goes to a bar or whatever to celebrate his birthday. Somebody punches you. Now you got to cut. You might win that fight in the bar, but you got to cut. You got to deal with in the next fight. That's the type of story mode I want to see in this thing, and I don't know. Maybe we'll get that.
This year. This is going to be the most difficult and most challenging legendary career mode that we've had so far.
Just want to jump straight into a fight. Fight Now is back.
So that's the full details on the career mode. Now, Fight Now, that's just if you want to jump into a fight. It does give you some different details on different things you'll be able to do, like main event fights, championship fights. It'll be 5 rounds. So, I mean, a lot of different things they integrated here, and I love to see the backyard return.
To main event, championship, and main card fights. But things are a little different this time around. Main card fights are 3 rounds, main event fights are 5 rounds, and so are the championship fights, but they are of course for world titles. But whether you decide to fight online or off, if you go to the backyard, you'll have to fight 5 3-minute rounds this time around.
So that's what I wanted to get to. So 5 3-minute rounds if you're in the backyard. And this Kumite, that's a 25-minute fight. I don't know how that's going to work because it's kind of hard to make it out the first round, to be honest with you. So going 25 minutes in one fight, I think they're going to scale it to make it where it's possible, but he was kind of saying in this trailer that you're going to have to kind of be careful if you want to go into this mode because I don't know.
Anymore. So when you do get hit, that damage is gone.
If you do manage to last the whole 25 minutes, it will go to a draw. Honestly, it's pretty awesome to have some new game rules to fight under, and whatever your preference, you're able to play online or off.
It is awesome. I love to see these different modes they're actually incorporating in the game, and the fact that a lot of them are offline and they still cater to online players as well, I think is a big win. And I think this is going to be big for us playing UFC 5, especially if they want to keep us playing this game for a long time. I think this is exactly what people needed to see before release because this shows that the game is going to be content rich, and for me, content is king. Let me know what y'all think about UFC 5 so far. I've been playing UFC Undisputed forever, and I'm telling y'all, that's got me really excited to jump back into a UFC game, so I can't wait. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this presentation. Don't forget to drop a like on this video and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Bomb Squad, let's get to that.